from the Figure 4 Online Studios in beautiful Bothell, Washington, exclusively at WrestlingObserver.com. You're listening to the Bryan and Vinny Show with your hosts, Brian Alvarez and Big Vinny V.
What do you think about that tune?
I think it was free from copyright.
It's Bryan Vinny Show with Mark, everybody. April 29, 2018, figure4online.com/wrestlingobserver.com. What's going on? What's happening over there, Tony? He's already looking disgusted.
His camera died.
You gotta be kidding
me. right when he was making a stupid face. Check it out.
Well, that's just not gonna fly.
Just leave it there.
Awesome.
Leave that there for an hour. It's Mark's sneering face. It's perfect.
Well, what do we do?
Pause.
All right, stand by, everybody. All right, so we're back now, everybody. And we have switched everything around, so now Vinny and Mark are cuddling over there.
We're pals.
Yeah, you guys were going to be on the couch together, but this is going to do. So anyway, where were we?
Brian unbuttoned his pants.
I did unbutton my pants like I do at the beginning of every show. It's old habits die hard.
That's weird.
It's like Al Bundy when he puts his hand in his pants.
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
off work.
Just something to get comfortable.
He's getting home and relaxing.
Nobody had to know my pants were undone, Vinny, except, well, you had to bring it up.
Well, it's weird.
It's not weird. No one can even see my pants.
There are people here.
Get out of here. Hey, listen.
I will.
We got the greatest Royal Rumble to talk about here. Mark is, of course, our Royal Rumble special correspondent for all of these shows.
Is that what?
Yeah, that's
can I
your
put
new-
that on my resume?
That's your new title.
I'm the special correspondent.
That's right. And Vinny's Vinny. And,
Also special.
Yeah. We're going to talk about the show. Now, Vinny only watched... What did you watch, Vinny?
I watched the ladder match,
Okay.
the Universal Championship match, the cage match,
Okay.
the WWE Championship match between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, and the greatest Royal Rumble match itself.
So you skipped Undertaker Rusev.
I did.
What a random match to skip. It was like 3 minutes long or something.
How long was the entrance?
Well, the entrance was a while, but you could have skipped that, you know.
So why bother watching a 3-minute match?
Because it was an awesome match. It wasn't really awesome. Mark, you watched everything?
Yeah.
What were you
All
thinking?
5 hours?
I didn't have to go to work that day because I took off work
Yeah.
to come here.
And then I told you
you're
not
like,
to come
I
here.
can't do it today.
Yeah, it was
I
rough.
can't do it on Sunday.
It was rough. I apologize.
What happened?
What do you mean what happened?
Like, why couldn't you do it then?
Because he couldn't watch it.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's actually his fault, but...
Well,
You know.
I'm just going to blame you.
Hey, listen, this is a 5-hour show. We got to get into it.
Yeah.
We're going to be here all day. So I guess Mark and I will talk about the first few matches.
I'm going to go for a walk.
Now you're just going to sit around and listen, Vinny.
Okay.
You can jump in if you want to. The greatest Royal Rumble.
Nope.
You don't think so?
No. Do you?
No, it sucked.
I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was called the greatest Royal Rumble going in, so
Which
they
is-
had a tough act to follow.
Yeah.
But my here's my theory.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Vince McMahon met with the Saudis, and they were like, "We're going to give you $20 million a year over 10 years, but we want a show." And Vince was like, "God damn! I'm not just going to give you the Royal Rumble. I'm going to give you the greatest Royal Rumble." That's how it got the name.
It should have been the goddamn Royal Rumble.
It could have been the goddamn
That
Royal
would have
Rumble.
been better.
That wouldn't have flown. But I just love the idea that that's Vince's bright idea. We're going to give you the greatest Royal Rumble. And this was the show. Mark, what was the greatest Royal Rumble in your opinion?
I knew you were going to ask, and I thought
couldn't
about
even
it.
think
and
about it?
I don't fucking know. Who knows?
No, there were some good ones.
I think the one where Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker had a match.
That was
at
a good
the end.
one. Yep.
That was a pretty good Royal Rumble.
that was like 2007-ish.
yeah, probably.
I recall,
I
yeah.
don't know.
You know what also was a good one that is underrated? 1990 with Hogan and the Warrior. Remember that one? Oh, man, that was good.
I was 10.
Well, I mean, I watched
I
them
don't
all
remember
again.
yesterday.
Oh, well, there is that. All right, Triple H and John Cena opened up the show, and they gave John Cena the big, giant firework display. They did Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior. They had a Greco-Roman knuckle lock. They had a bunch of slow-motion power spots. Cena made his comeback. Highlight of this match is he goes for the 5-knuckle shuffle, and Triple H cuts him off, and Hunter hits a 5-knuckle shuffle. Okay?
Including the "You Can't See Me," the hand.
He did.
He did.
A crotch chop.
Yeah, he did the crotch chop and then did it. But the point of this is, he did a better 5-knuckle shuffle than John Cena's ever done in his entire life.
I don't doubt that.
Was that not like a sweet fist drop that he did?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was good.
I mean, he's been doing. I guess John Cena's been doing it every day for what?
A
15
while.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the match, Cena hit the AA. I don't know why I keep calling it AAA. Hit the AA. Hunter kicked out. Goes for another one. Hunter turns into a pedigree. Cena kicks out. They traded submissions. And then finally, John hit another AA and got the win.
Didn't he at one point go for his goofy leg drop off the top rope? And
He did.
Hunter just kind of pushed him, and he.
Well, he did the one where he comes out the top and he's supposed to get power bombed.
Yeah.
But really,
so,
he just fell on his ass. Which,
Yeah.
given how little they did in this match, I couldn't believe he did that spot. That was a big bump.
Yeah.
So it was a house show match between Triple H and John Cena.
Yeah.
They did the extra kickouts, which they didn't need, because the first time he hit the AA, the place actually popped really big, but then Hunter kicked out. And then when he hit the AA the second time, they didn't pop so big, and that was the finish. So, wrong audience for WrestleMania Near Falls. I thought this match was okay.
It was really slow. But I mean, I understand why it was really slow because,
They're
both-
very old.
Both of those dudes are old and they both have better shit to do. So you just throw them out there. Like, look, here's 2 fucking stars. You guys, Saudi Arabia, you must know who they are, right? Here come the cruiserweights. And, yeah, so, I mean, it was fine. But I don't ever need to see it again.
No.
I'm not going to be hunting it down.
No. In fact, like midway through the show, I told Vinny he only needed to watch like the 2 top matches. That's how nothing the show was. Kalisto and Cedric Alexander was in fact the second match on the show. Kalisto's out there trying to do his lucha chants. Nobody cared. Did a couple of high spots. They did pop for that. And finally, Cedric hit a Michinoku driver for a near fall. Kalisto hit a springboard Spanish fly for a near fall. Went for the Salida del Sol. Cedric turned into a lumbar check for the pin. Finish was cool. The match was a match.
Yep.
Anything to add?
They laid on the mat for a while.
There was Matt Lang.
The one man hugged the other
Yes.
for it seemed like a really long time. Too long for 2 men to be hugging
Yeah.
in Saudi Arabia.
I hadn't thought of that.
How'd the cross chop go over in Saudi Arabia?
But he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of popped for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard about this, but that video that they have for the dual branded pay-per-views.
The commercial that shows scantily
Yes.
clad women.
Yes.
Some fool decided to play in the stadium.
An apology was issued.
Yes.
Where they actually kind of threw WWE under the bus.
Yeah.
They were like, we told them.
Don't do that.
Anyway, my point is, that's a horrible commercial. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Is it not atrocious?
I had to leave the fucking room. It was so fucking bad.
It's so bad.
Like, why do you have heels lip syncing to like some shitty pop song? It doesn't
Not
make
just
any
heels,
fucking
anybody.
sense. Yeah.
Heels is better because you're supposed to hate them.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, what's this? Does anyone know the song?
I
I have no idea.
I haven't seen the commercial.
You haven't seen the commercial?
No.
Didn't they have that fucking one of those Bludgeon Brothers just kind of standing there? Like,
Oh, yeah, it was Rowan.
it didn't make any fucking
Probably
sense.
thinking about wine.
Oh, my God. Hold on.
Are you gonna fucking play it?
I'm going to make Vinny... I will play it.
Should I come over
Well,
and
no,
watch?
it's not as good if...
Is the commercial copyrighted?
Oh, yeah, I can't do that. Well, what I'm going to do, Vinny, is I'm gonna send the link to you, so while we're reviewing
You're
this-
reviewing a match I did not see. I will watch the commercial.
Yeah.
Are you
if I
sending
can
that?
find it. Oh, man, it's not available.
AJ Styles singing.
Yeah,
along
AJ
with some
Styles
shitty-
is there singing.
Oh
Well, he's got
man.
pop star hair, so I can see that.
Oh.
No, it's horrible. It's horrible. Like WWE should have also issued an apology.
It was that.
WWE
It was worse than that
Backlash
one where Enzo Amore was
commercial.
trying to fuck that chicken.
You still haven't
It
forgotten
was.
that.
It was worse than that.
I'm going to
chicken
get you
fucking
back
commercial.
today, and you know it is coming.
What?
You know it's coming here.
I don't.
You
know.
don't?
I have no idea
Oh
what
man,
you're talking
it's
about.
your lucky day, dude.
I found a 2003 commercial featuring Trish Stratus. Can I watch that?
No. Jeff Hardy, Jinder Mahal for the U.S. title. Jinder got booed a lot. Singh brother interfered for the heat. They did their spots. The highlight of which was when Jeff Hardy goes up top for a whisper in the wind, and he missed by a mile. Jinder Mahal just fucking took a bump anyway.
I did see a gif of that.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
Corey is trying so hard not to laugh. He explained that perhaps this was some sort of plot by Jinder Mahal, some sort of ploy. I'm like, well, what was the ploy? He fucking fell down. The other guy started beating him up. Crowd's dead quiet. Singh brother tried to interfere. Jeff bumped him off the apron, avoided the Colossus, and then hit the twist of fate and the senton for the pin.
That's exactly what happened.
That is not very exciting.
Who gives a fuck about Jinder Mahal? For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Like, can we just stop it with him? Just, I mean, like, having that little fellow that hangs out with him all the time, running around. Like,
Yep.
every one of the matches is the same fucking thing. Like, when they
Yes.
did it at WrestleMania, the little fella jumped up and fucked everything up, and then Jinder Mahal wins. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, can't this man win a fucking match? Can he win a match, Vinny?
I don't know, Mark.
Vinny. The answer is no, he can't. And he also takes phantom bumps.
I did that
Yeah,
once. I was
You're Vinny.
in a tent.
He's fucking...
I was in a tent in Shelton, Washington, in front of 12 fans.
Yeah, this guy was a
Jinder
world
Mahal
champion.
was in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, Saudi Arabia in front of 60,000.
Jesus Christ.
Has Saudi Arabia ever had a wrestling event?
Yeah, they were there, I think, a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just kind of thought that everybody was there like, I don't know, I got nothing else to do.
No, I think they've been there before.
Huh.
Yeah.
Should've
They,
right.
they had allegedly been there many years ago, but it may have been bullshit. May have been wrestling bullshit. We don't actually.
Some wrestling folklore?
Yeah, folklore.
It's a
Wow.
good word, actually.
Yeah, it is a good word. That's all wrestling is folklore.
Like Johnny Appleseed.
You see the Andre the Giant documentary?
No.
A lot of folklore.
Oh.
But it was good.
Actually, there was a lot of folklore and then a lot of just bullshit.
Man, there was a lot of that too.
But even the bullshit was entertaining. So
Is it out
oh yeah.
it's on, yeah.
for
Yeah,
normal people?
HBO.
Ah, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
They had a free weekend. I don't know if it's still going on.
I don't know.
We had a video putting over what a beautiful time it was to live in Saudi Arabia. Did you see that one, Vinny?
Did not.
Man.
I did hear many times what a progressive, beautiful city Jeddah was.
Yeah.
And it's funny. It just sounded like any other WWE catchphrase. Building momentum.
Yeah.
Making people putting
That's
smiles on
what this
faces.
was one big giant WWE bullshit catchphrase.
Yes. Just they're doing it for somebody else's benefit. Their sponsors' benefit now.
All right, we had the Jericho interview where he did a comedy promo putting everybody on the list, looking around, waiting for a reaction, but everybody was praying.
Yeah.
There was no reaction.
I did they even show it live?
The praying?
No. The Jericho.
Oh, yeah, they showed the
promo.
Jericho thing.
I would rather watch the
Oh,
crowd.
no. It
I
was
didn't
only,
think they
it wasn't
showed it
for
to
the crowd. No.
Yeah, so that's why they didn't react.
So we don't want to show prayer. We will show Chris Jericho instead.
Yeah, there was a 10 to 15 minute prayer break, and they went to like the panel, which,
So you can see everyone praying behind them.
yeah,
Booker T was fucking drunk or something. What the fuck was
I
going
bet
on?
he
with
wasn't.
him?
there's Byron, Booker T, Jerry Lawler, and who was the fourth guy?
Jim Ross.
Jim Ross, that's right. Apologize, Jim Ross. They're all out there, and they throw to these guys because we have a 10 to 15 minute prayer break.
Yeah.
And these four guys begin, and it's mostly Byron. And literally it's like, man, what a show so far. Some silence. Booker's like, yeah. And like they're struggling to find something to talk about. And I'm thinking 15 fucking minutes of this. And thankfully Byron's like, well, let's go to Chris Jericho. And they cut back to Jericho and we were off to the races.
He's much better.
Yeah, that was going to be a rough 15 minutes. Harper and Rowan versus the Usos for the tag titles. This was a total SmackDown match. Jimmy got the hot tag, some dives, kicks in the corner. Rowan super kicked outside. Jay hit a big splash. Harper kicked out. And then the Bludgeons fired up combo powerbomb on Jay for the pin. We had a guy that texted me right after this match, and he said, I went to a house show this weekend. They did that exact same match move for move.
Yeah.
House show.
It was a house show with a big crowd and more cameras.
Yeah.
And pyro. Yeah, that sounds like an Usos match.
Sounds like, yeah. So there you go. All right, Vinny, now it's your turn.
Are we to the ladder match then?
Well, that was next. So,
Okay.
Yes.
We had a ladder match for the Intercontinental title. Miz versus Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe. First thing I see when this comes up is, I skipped it. It's Finn's entrance. He's coming out, and Michael Cole declares, the Balor Club has come to Asia. And there's this awkward pause. Corey Graves says, actually, it started in Asia. It was in Asia for a long, long time. I was like, well, I never said it was in Asia for the first time. So, yeah, the stadium was enormous, looked really cool, set looked really cool. They had big, giant monitors above the corners of the ring, but facing into the ring. So if you looked up, you would see yourself wrestling. This is like Shawn Michaels' dream.
I was going to say, what a distraction for HBK.
Yes. So they had a very fun ladder match. It was also like the safest ladder match I've seen in I don't know how long.
You know, I was writing those words, but then as I was writing those words, Samoa Joe sets up a ladder in the corner.
NFL.
And he's going to throw Finn into the ladder, which is not a bad bump because it's in the corner, so there's like give.
Yeah.
And you kind of hit the ladder and there's give and you fall down. So he's about to whip him in and the goddamn ladder falls down.
Yeah.
Now the ladder is laying on the mat.
Sure is.
A lot less give.
It is.
Samoa Joe does not go, well, I'll set this ladder up again. Instead he goes, I'm going to slam this fucker on this ladder here on the ground.
Bad news for Finn.
Fucking slams Finn on this ladder. And, of course, by the end of the match, Finn's just like, he's got cuts everywhere, bruises, he's bleeding, the belt fell on his fucking face
That was
at
the biggest
end.
bump of the entire match, was the belt hitting him in the face.
I'm like, dude, did he not know this was a house show ladder match?
I guess so.
No one smartened him up.
So yes, Finn getting slammed on the ladder was the biggest bump of the actual match. And then the funniest thing was, Joe goes to set up the ladder in the corner again, and he still can't get it right. Now he's leaning against the ropes, which was a much easier bump for, I think it was Seth. But yeah, every time someone was climbing the ladder and it got tipped over, they landed on their feet. Either they just landed on their feet and fired back, or they landed on their feet and their necks fell across the ropes, or whatever. But other than that one body slam on the ladder, which wasn't even supposed to happen, just completely, totally safe, but still very good, because everything looked spectacular, which of course is the whole point of pro wrestling, to look cool and not get hurt.
We had a lot of good guys in there.
We had a lot of good guys in there. And then the finish.
And The Miz.
The Miz was also present. And then the finish, as Finn is on the ladder reaching for the belt, and Seth does this awesome springboard. Live, you didn't even see him do the springboard. He just falls out of the sky like he came from the heavens. And he scurries up the ladder and grabs the belt and wins. And as he unlashes it, it comes off the other way. The plate hits Finn right in the eyeball, busts his eyebrow open. And that was, in fact, the biggest injury in the entire match right there. And yeah, so Seth wins. Finn is frustrated. The other guys are pissed. This was fun.
Am I the only one that thought that Finn Balor looked like the biggest geek on the fucking planet with this finish? Am I the only one?
I mean, it's a ladder match. They always climb up there and they're like, I don't know how to do this.
I know,
What?"
he's standing on the damn ladder. The dude springboards onto the ladder and runs all the way up the ladder, and Finn's just looking at him like, gets whacked in the face.
I like your slide whistle noise.
Why wasn't that The Miz? Right?
I don't know.
This was Miz's opportunity to break the record.
For biggest geek ever?
No, if he wins a title again, he's tied Chris Jericho. And he's got a
most-
few
I
more
see.
days to like beat the all-time
Day
length record,
Yeah,
okay? So he's been drafted to the other show. He's out of fucking chances. Apparently he's got one more chance at Backlash, but I mean, I don't think they're switching both belts, so like, this would have been a perfect finish. He's right there about to tie the record, and fucking Seth scurries up and takes it out of his grasp. Instead, you made Finn look like an idiot.
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
I know. He looked like an idiot. You hear me?
I hear you, Brian.
All right. So I got a microphone for.
The casket match was next?
Now, then we had 4 guys
Oh, yeah.
that were selected from WWE for tryouts last week. And here in Saudi Arabia, they bring out 2 Iranians
Yes. The Daivaris.
Sean and Arya Daivari. I'm laughing, but I couldn't even believe my eyes. And Arya buries them. They get a little skirmish. The Saudi Arabians beat them up, and away they go.
Mm-hmm. Presumably under heavy security.
Dude, they better have had heavy security, all right.
Yeah.
It's WWE for you.
Yes, it is.
God damn, I got a great idea.
Get some evil
Give me
foreigners.
Sean Daivari. He's been in a fucking company for 10 years. Vince was so determined to do an Iran versus Saudi Arabia storyline here on this show that he brought in Sean Daivari.
He did.
Dude.
And he probably won't be back on Raw.
I doubt it, but you never know. Then we had AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Holy crap, Shinsuke Nakamura's new theme. How does a guy who had like the best song ever in New Japan comes to WWE, gets a new song that is way, way better, and then they redo that song and it's way, way better again? I want a best of album that is just Shinsuke Nakamura theme songs. It's cool.
Well, the idea here was they added lyrics so the
people won't
fans
sing.
would stop singing.
Yeah.
Because he's a good heel.
Yes. So there's a weird crowd reaction to this match. They were cheering and roaring, but
Well, they were doing the wave.
that's what I thought.
Yes. They were doing the wave. They
Yeah.
were doing soccer chants, like,
Which I will take the wave and the soccer chants over silence.
yeah.
So Shinsuke goes to a chin lock, and there was some the usual god awful WWE camera work in the show for things where you don't need it. Like as much as I hate it when guys are doing punches and the camera switches every punch, I understand the idea that you don't want these punches to look fake in HD, so you do a camera. I understand the theory of that. But when guys are like doing body slams or backdrops or running the ropes, you don't need to zoom the camera and shake it a lot. It just makes me sick. But they did do a shot here. Shinsuke goes to a chin lock, and so they had, I don't know if it was on a crane or maybe a drone, but they are in the aisle way above the ring, zooming in, almost flying into the ring. It looked really cool.
Yeah, that was a drone.
It was a drone?
It was super cool.
It looked really, really cool, and you can only do it in the big stadium shows like this, so it felt even more special. It took 4 seconds of TV time to do something unique and special, and it was cool. So the crowd did start paying attention when they began to tease finishers. They were booing Shin and cheering AJ. They weren't crazy, super passionate about it, but they were hitting their spots. The crowd was. So the ref almost gets bumped. AJ's flying into him, and the ref turns his back to protect himself, but AJ throws in the brakes and doesn't hit him. But this gives Nakamura a chance to attack AJ's balls, which is a new gimmick. And he cradles him, but AJ gets the ropes. And Michael Cole says, instead of King of Strong Style, we should call him King of Low Blows.
Man, that's funny.
What a sick burn.
Michael Cole. What a fucking idiot.
Vinny, you missed when he alerted all of us that Sergeant Slaughter was dead.
Yeah. I actually looked it up when he said it. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, is that motherfucker dead? Like,
No, he's alive.
Doing fine, as I understand.
Yeah, and then Cole later goes, I met him last week. It's like, so you're really dumb. It's not like you haven't even, you presume he's dead because you haven't seen hide or hair of him for years. You saw him last week.
So they were brawling outside. They went flying over the Saudi announce desk, which those guys did not look like they were ready for that to happen. And they just both got counted out.
What a goddamn
weak.
horrible finish.
So this feud must continue. That it did not get settled here on this house show. And then AJ went to hit the phenomenal forearm, but Shin rolled out of the ring, so AJ hit one to the floor instead. He posed with his belt and his music played, and that was that. And it was a good wrestling match, aside from the bullshit finish. I liked it better than the Mania match, but it's still not as good as you would expect AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura to be.
What did you think of this match?
It was way better than the WrestleMania match.
That was
I'll
true.
give him that much. I didn't really mind the finish that much. I was kind of like, that's bullshit, but they're just going to do a third match,
And then a fourth and a fifth.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's just going to go on for a while, so.
Here's what I thought about this finish, though. They did a double count out. I guess you can do another match off that. But, like, at a WrestleMania, Shinsuke Nakamura, after the match, gave the guy a low blow to the balls. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So every week on TV, he's been giving him a low blow on all the SmackDown shows.
To the balls.
Hits him in the balls week after week.
Yes.
Balls.
So during this match, they're halfway through. Referee is distracted. Shot to the balls.
Balls.
Yeah, balls.
Okay, so why couldn't the finish have been that after all this time, AJ finally loses his temper and he kicks the guy in the balls for the disqualification.
That would have been more entertaining.
Because now Shinsuke Nakamura can say, you are a coward. You got yourself disqualified to retain your title. Then you've got an easy setup for a rematch, right?
Well, they want...
Instead, we just did a bullshit double countout.
I'm guessing the payoff to this whole thing is going to be, eventually AJ is going to beat Shinsuke for the last time, and then after the match, punt him in the balls. Then that'll be the payoff, because balls. It's Vince McMahon's company. That's how he thinks.
That's true.
Why doesn't AJ Styles start wearing some sort of protection
Yeah, why doesn't he wear a metal cup?
when he's around Shinsuke Nakamura?
I mean, everyone in ECW knew that gimmick.
I don't have an answer.
because you know he's going to go for your balls. That's what he loves. That's what he's into.
He's found your weak spot.
That's the creepiest thing that's ever been stated in a creepy manner here on the show.
Well, you do have your pants unbuttoned, so it's a whole creepy vibe in here.
Brian, you're retorting.
I have no retort.
Okay. What's next? The casket
Undertaker
match?
and Rusev.
Okay, I didn't watch this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Sergeant Slaughter's not dead. That's number one.
Yep.
Crowd booed Rusev Day.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, they weren't into it.
They loved Undertaker. He's the most over guy in the whole show.
Sure they did, yeah.
Did the old school rope walk, did the leg drop on the apron. Rusev briefly got heat with the accolade. And then, here's the finish. Undertaker sits up. He choke slams Rusev. He throws him into the box. Aiden English gets in the ring. Undertaker choke slams and tombstones him. He throws him in the box, shuts the door on both of them, and wins. Casket match.
It's an Undertaker casket match.
I mean,
Yeah.
what do you want?
I'm not sure why they originally weren't sure that Rusev could pull this off with The Undertaker. But he managed to do just fine when the chips were down.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't care, and I don't know.
Yeah, that was weird. It's fine.
I was talking to my buddy Sean, who did watch this show. I was talking to him about the show yesterday. He had watched it. I had not yet. Just talking about what matches I should watch. And he says, well, the main event goes 90 minutes. And I said, oh, the Rumble goes on last? And without missing a beat, he just says, no, Undertaker beat Rusev for 90 minutes and put him in a box. And I said, you got a point there. So then we had Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar in a steel cage match for the Universal title.
So I watched this live during Observer Live because it was conveniently right in the middle of the show. So I didn't get to hear any of the audio. I didn't really get to pay a lot of attention to the match. I had to watch this match 2 times. What a nothing happening, boring match.
The story of this feud is, I know you're not a big video game guy Brian, but do you remember the original Nintendo controller which had an up-down pad?
Yes,
And then an
I
A
do.
button and a B button?
Yes.
Lesnar versus Reigns is a wrestling feud designed for a Nintendo Entertainment System video game. A button is suplex, B button is F5, and if you were playing Roman Reigns, A button is spear, B button is Superman punch, and that's all you can do.
That is exactly what this match was.
So if you like those 4 moves, you love this feud, because
Yes.
that's all they do. Now, it was funny, because you cannot hear this, Brian, but at Mania, both guys were booed, but Roman was booed more.
Yes.
Both guys were cheered here, but Brock was cheered more.
Yes.
So that was different. They just did a bunch of F5s and spears and Superman punches and suplexes. They did at one point both take turns trying to climb out of the cage. Brock Lesnar trying to climb out of the cage is the closest I've ever seen to him looking unathletic
And terrified.
and terrified. Height's not his friend. So they did show Samoa Joe watching this on a monitor backstage because he has a match with Roman Reigns at Backlash. So he is hoping Roman would win here, so there would be a title match. And by WWE standards, it was the most natural a guy has looked watching a monitor in forever.
Yeah, Joe's really good at his job.
Yes.
He cuts believable promos for whatever they give him. He's great.
So there was a near fall where Roman goes to escape and Paul Heyman slams the door on his head.
Never saw that spot before.
A chair gets thrown in the ring and it ends up in Roman's hands. He just destroys Brock with it and it eventually hits the Superman punch and Brock rolls to the apron. And the big finish, Roman goes the spear into the cage gives way, they both collapse to the floor. It is determined that Brock Lesnar is hit first and therefore he wins. So
Now, Mark, my friend.
Oh, what? What?
We had a big argument on this show.
Between who? You two?
You and me.
Me and
at
you.
the Royal Rumble about
did.
the pancakes
Okay. Oh,
where
God.
I said when he was on the pancakes on the
It
floor.
was on the pancakes on the floor.
So what's your argument?
There's holes in the cage, so your back's
Oh,
gonna touch
get
the hole.
outta
Well,
here.
Mark, let me get you some
Yeah, yeah,
details.
yeah.
He was on the metal on the floor.
Look, Brian.
Yes.
When I watched,
Am I wrong about this?
Shut the fuck up. When I watched the fucking match live, I watched, Brock sitting on the cage and Roman roll onto the floor, I was like, oh shit, they're gonna give it to Roman because
he rolled to the floor
first. And then they're like, no, Brock Lesnar touched, and I was like, I guess there are holes in that fence.
I guess it's
Well,
fence is on the floor, and so they're on the floor.
Let me give you some details.
What if
here.
that fence had been made out of pancakes?
Shut up,
Who'd be the champion right now?
Brian. You're trying to put logic where there is no fucking logic
That's
to
true.
be had. It's WWE. The rules change via every match. Every match, they're like, well, we're gonna change the fucking rule there, raise the rule here. Who cares? It was a house show in Saudi Arabia.
I don't forget these things. I don't forget the pancakes.
I know, man. Obviously, you don't. Don't you do enough of these fucking shows to not think about
I
some bullshit
remember.
that you and I talked about?
I remember
fucking
everything.
months ago.
Remember it all.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, Vinny.
So the first detail I want to discuss is how
You don't have a comment about the pancakes and the metal on the
I'll
floor?
get to them. I'll
Okay.
get to that. That's, frankly, I have bigger fish to fry.
Oh, really?
Am I the only one who noticed that Roman does the spear through the ropes and comes down on the top of his head?
Oh, no, I saw that.
Yeah.
I thought he killed himself.
I thought he just dead.
I thought he killed
This
himself.
looked so much worse than the bump Bruno Sammartino took. That
It
really
did.
break his
It
neck.
looked just like that, actually.
Much worse.
It
this
did.
looked much worse.
Yeah. I don't
So
know
I
how
was
he lived.
Horrified. That is point one. Point two, Brock Lesnar's flat back bump to the floor looked like no picnic either. So both guys took a severe
No.
beating here. Now, the third point, which brings me back to what you two were talking about. So,
Hold on. Let me say one thing about that bump. Do you remember at St. Valentine's Day Massacre, it was Vince McMahon, Steve Austin, and Paul White runs in and he throws Austin in the cage, and the cage tips. So the same finish.
it swung open.
It swung.
That's the point, though.
Yeah.
Like, I think they thought that the cage was going to fall, but, like, one side would be on the apron, and then one side would be on the floor, and they would, like, bounce or something before they hit.
Talking about Brock and Roman?
Yes.
Well, that's what happened.
No, it just flat smashed on the ground.
No, because let me get you to point three. The edge of the cage was still on the apron.
Oh, the
Brock-
chain link broke.
Yes.
I see.
So Brock Lesnar's feet never actually touched the mat. They were several inches off the black mats, like up in the air, leaning on the cage. So if the winner is the man whose feet touched the floor first, Roman won by several minutes. A controversial finish. The announcers were
That's
discussing
a
this.
better one.
Well,
He
fine.
did better than you.
Get out of here. The point is, this was a bullshit finish.
The announcers pointed this out. They thought this would be a bad call by the ref because Lord knows we need a fourth match, I guess, actually.
We don't need one.
Where Roman fails to beat Brock. And then we're supposed to cheer for Roman again.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
It's a perpetual cycle of keep cheering for this guy even though he loses. You're not cheering for him? We'll make him lose again. Now you'll like him.
I mean, maybe Roman landed on his goddamn head and was hurt, and that's why he rolled off the thing first.
I don't know. I hope
Or
he's
maybe tomorrow they're just gonna give us a rematch, and Roman's gonna win the title on Raw.
Are they doing a backlash? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't think no, because Roman's going against Joe.
That's right. You're right. Yeah.
Unless they make that a three-way and put the belt on Joe, I'd be fine with that.
Are they ever going to give Roman Reigns the title?
Dude, they were gonna give him the title at WrestleMania.
At this point, it just seems silly.
It is.
It
very,
does.
It is
Do it.
very silly.
Just give him the fucking
Like, if
belt
you-
already.
Just
Who
don't give him the
cares?
belt.
Who cares if everybody
If
hates
this was
him?
real,
Just give
why
it
wouldn't
to
you
him.
just fire Roman? He keeps losing over and over again.
We don't fire him like he's still a star.
I guess
You just
so.
don't. You stop giving him championship matches.
Other guys had to
Vinny,
a shot.
you
know
haven't
the
been
back of the
watching
line.
Raw, okay?
No.
But let's think about this. Roman Reigns goes against Lesnar at WrestleMania. He hits Lesnar with every fucking move he's got.
Repeatedly.
He gets pinned clean in the middle of the ring.
And left a bloody mess.
And they randomly announce that he gets a rematch
Yes.
in Saudi Arabia. Then Roman Reigns goes on TV and says, it's going to be different because this time it's going to be in a cage. And I'm like, why the fuck would it be different? You got pinned clean in the middle of the goddamn ring. It's not like somebody interfered. It's not like Brock ran away.
No.
Now this monster is going to kill you and there's metal all over. This is way worse. So if this fucking guy loses again and they announce tomorrow he's getting another match, bullshit.
It is.
You can't possibly be trying to make this guy a babyface. It's impossible.
Well,
You hear me?
Calm down.
I'm agitated.
It's fine.
I spent an hour screaming about this today with Mike Sempervive on the other show. Because here's my point. I got a serious question for you two, okay?
All right.
For everybody that wants this guy to turn heel. He's being booed now. So your plan is to turn him so he is booed as a heel? What the fuck difference does it make? Is it going to make you happy that he's being booed because he's supposed to, and he's still in the fucking main events every week, doing the same fucking matches?
it would make them happy if they could cheer the other guy.
They can! They do anyway!
I guess so.
They cheered Braun Strowman, they cheer Brock Lesnar, they cheer everybody that Roman faces. Who the fuck, what difference does it make?
I don't know.
What difference does it make?
Calm down,
Mark,
It is fucking
what difference does this
wrestling.
make?
Who cares? Like there's.
I gotta watch it every day.
Man is
I care.
Oh God,
This fucking
Brian,
guy doesn't even
get
watch
a new
Raw.
fucking job then.
Get outta
For
here,
Christ's
Mark.
sake. Vince McMahon's got a boner for this dude hard. Okay, so he's just gonna keep putting him in fucking main events. Just put Roman in there. He's got nice
Views and
lips.
opinions expressed by Mark do not represent those of management.
He's got nice lips.
That's what my wife always says. She says he has really nice lips.
See,
Roman Vince.
that's why he's getting pushed. It's because of your wife.
Yeah, because he's got really nice lips.
All these
Brian.
damn wives.
Brian.
You know, I've heard people talk about Roman's hair and his
Yes.
Yeah, like I've
muscles
noticed
and
he's got
his
nice
eyes.
hair,
got
but I've
nice
never
lips.
noticed
I've
his
never
lips.
heard him talk about his lips before.
My wife
weird.
loves his lips.
Okay, well, he's even hotter than I knew.
Yeah. Take a look at him.
Okay.
Roman Reigns lips.
Lips. Yeah, there you go.
God damn, look at him.
And she was also the one that noticed him go head down on the outside of the ring, and she was like, "I think he's dead." And I was like, I'm sure he'll get up. It'll be fine.
He got up all right.
He got up and wandered around.
They just look like lips to me. Do you have no lips? What's the problem here?
I
What
don't-
kind of lips does he have that she's into?
Do I have lips, audience? Fucking Christ. I don't know.
I got off the mic to ask that question. All right, let's do this Royal Rumble, damn it.
The greatest Royal
There's
Rumble.
only 50
God
guys to go
damn.
through.
God damn, was that fucking boring. God damn it. Like, I love the Royal Rumble. You know this.
Why?
This guy knows this. It's like, even when I wasn't watching wrestling for, there are years that pass by where I don't watch wrestling, but I always am like, I gotta watch the Royal Rumble because it's a fucking big old goofball show and who knows who's gonna come back. But
Well,
this
that's
one,
true.
like,
This was the biggest.
50 fucking people.
Hey, if you like goofballs,
Oh,
this had to set a Rumble record for goofballs.
oh my God.
So, 50 men, allegedly 90-second intervals, although I'm certain some of these were like 30 seconds.
Oh,
There were
yeah.
some of these-
Yeah, they fudge it. They've been fudging it for like 20 years.
This is beyond fudging. This is like I was insulted they claimed these were 90 seconds.
Did you time them?
I didn't this year. I just didn't even bother.
I watched
I
you
did-
time them at the real Royal Rumble.
Yeah, there were. I'd been when I went through with Filthy. I started timing because they were like really weird.
Yeah.
And so I timed this year, but then I just gave up. Like I know it's bullshit. I don't need to know how
Yeah.
bullshit it is.
There was one, I timed one set of intervals somewhere in there where it was like there was no way that was even 1 minute.
No,
And it turned out it was in fact 2 minutes. So they were still fudging, but not nearly as bad as I thought.
I think it was this year's Rumble. There was one interval that was like the all-time record. It was like 2 minutes and 39 seconds or something
Yeah.
between guys coming in because the New Day was doing some bullshit.
Yes.
Probably with pancakes.
They were probably walking on pancakes.
Yeah.
So Daniel Bryan was number one, as loved in Saudi Arabia as he would have been anywhere else. Dolph Ziggler was number two. Nothing happened.
No, it was not a very exciting little segment with these two guys.
Sin Cara was number three.
Yep.
His physique has gone downhill, but he can still do all this cool stuff. And then he got eliminated. And then Curtis Axel was number four.
Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
Do you realize this guy's been on the main roster since 2010?
I think they're going to say like 2002.
Yeah, I thought it was way longer.
Mark Henry came out of retirement to be number five.
Yep.
Threw Axel out.
Yep.
Mike Kanellis and his awesome theme were number six. And it was awesome because this guy's, and his gimmick is that he's a kept man. He is whipped by his wife.
Yeah.
But they're in Saudi Arabia, so she can't come out with him. So he comes out and just mimes it. He reaches out for the hand of his wife who isn't there. He gets in the ring. Henry throws him out in seconds.
They were trying so hard to break the record.
He went all the way to fucking Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Yeah.
To literally step in the ring and get thrown out.
Yep.
All the way. How long does it take to get to fucking Saudi Arabia?
It's a long ass time.
Days. But you know what he got paid for this 1 second of
I
active
have
work?
no idea.
A lot.
What did he get paid?
I don't know, but
Oh, Vinny.
I know what Brian's been saying. I know how much the company got
Yeah.
paid.
I don't know if he got paid that.
Was it
but
$20 million?
I think they're getting $20 million a year for 10 years.
Did the Saudis pay for all these people to travel over there?
It's a sold show, so they paid the company. So WWE didn't sell one ticket. They got a huge lump sum for the show, and then the Saudi government sold all these tickets for like literally the ticket prices were
like $2, right?
yeah, $250 and $550 US, except for the VIP area, but you weren't allowed to buy those tickets.
Sure.
So yeah,
So number 7, making his WWE debut and presumably retirement, Hiroki Sumi.
Hiroki Sumi.
Yeah, what was that about?
They brought in a sumo wrestler,
Yep.
just some retired sumo guy.
Yep.
He's big. He's 6'4" and 400 pounds.
The answer to this question is that Vince believes, especially in foreign
Man.
Vince McMahon, especially in foreign countries,
Oh, yeah.
that the fans like to see big dudes. So if you look at most of the guys that were here, it's like Hiroki Sumi, big dude. Who else did they bring in?
There was a guy I have never heard of before. Well, this is two of them.
Oh yeah,
actually.
the other guy, Tucker Knight, big dude, got called up. Who else got called up? What's his name? It's coming up here. Babatunda called up, big dude. Dan Matha, big dude.
Dan Matha.
Yep. Last two guys, Braun Strowman, big dude. Big Cass, big dude.
Where was
I'd
Big
hope so.
Show?
He's big.
It's Vince McMahon.
What happened with Big? I thought Big Show was supposed to be in this thing.
I did too. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Get on the horn with someone and find out for me.
I honestly did not care enough, but I'll try and find out where the big show was.
Just let me know. Just text me or something.
I'll let you know.
So the
Thanks.
sumo wrestler gets in the ring and he's doing all his sumo poses and doing a stare down with Mark Henry. And they lock fingers. And for 5 seconds, we have the worst grappling contest I've ever seen in my life. As they basically did a waltz, just holding their hands up here.
Yeah.
And then Henry threw him out. And I don't know if they have taught this Hiroki Sumi fella how to take a fella out of the ring. It didn't look like it. And he went tumbling out and appeared to break every bone in his body.
Well, that's what happened.
So he did that. Dolphin Bryan dumped Henry. So this
They
was-
almost fell on each other.
yeah, the Giants.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like he fell on Hiroki Sumi's leg.
bad times.
Oh, man.
So very briefly, we had Dolphin Bryan. The first two is the only two left in the ring, and then Victor
Yeah.
came in at number 8.
Victor.
He looked good.
Sure, he did.
Yeah, he was flying all over the place.
He's just Victor.
He's just Victor.
Victor.
Yeah, what a name. Victor.
Here's Victor. Come on out, Victor.
Dude, his
Yeah.
buddy's name is Connor.
Oh, that's not like that dude's big and he looks mean and his name is Connor.
He's named after the guy who plays third base in your son's little league team.
it's not a good name.
So
Oh, Victor, like
He should have
victory.
been. They should have been
He's
the
like
other way.
the Victor.
He should have been the bigger guy. Should have been Victor because that's a tougher name, and then the little guy should have been Connor.
It's my little buddy Connor.
Yeah.
Kofi Kingston's number 9. Tony Nese is number 10. Dash Wilder's number 11. I think it was
A lot of stuff wasn't happening here.
now. I think it was Saxton who says, I feel like every time we see Dolph Ziggler in a Royal Rumble match, we always ask the same question: how is he hanging on?
Yes.
Yeah, because he does the same thing
He's
every
got
time.
to be a listener. That's all Dolph does in all these damn Royal Rumbles. Is he's constantly almost getting eliminated.
To the point of self-parody.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like trying too hard to be Shawn Michaels, and Shawn never did that. Like, he did a couple. This fucking guy, he was literally like almost eliminated 3 times in the first 2 minutes.
Yes. Hornswoggle was number 12.
Oh, yeah.
Pulls Wilder out of the ring. He greets his old buddy Kofi. They high five, and then Hornswoggle kicks him in the shin and hits him with a Samoan drop.
Yeah.
So
Corey Graves
Yes.
talking about how Hornswoggle is short, and thus he has a massive advantage in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
This coming 2 years after he said that the tall guys had a massive advantage in the Royal Rumble.
well, maybe he done some research.
He
since
is a
then.
gimmick at this point.
Maybe he's done some research.
Yeah.
He's changed,
or he's
changed his
trolling
mind.
me. Something.
Did
you
you catch-
remember what Corey Graves had to say about
I do.
the Royal Rumble
I do.
2 years ago?
I do.
Brian,
because
come
I'm gonna tell you
on.
why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because we were watching every Royal Rumble week to week. So it was only like, a month ago.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
It was like the 2015 Rumble. He's explaining that if you're tall, you have an advantage.
How long has Corey Graves been
I don't know, however long
He's been in wrestling for a
But
decade
then
or more.
the reason I remember is the very next year, he said the opposite.
Yeah.
And I was like, you said the other thing last
Well,
year.
I'm glad he's learned then. Because as Stone Cold once explained, his strategy going into the Royal Rumble was to drink a lot of beer, get a huge beer belly, which would lower his center of gravity, therefore making it harder to throw him over the top rope.
That's right.
So being short is an advantage.
Except Swoggle was immediately eliminated.
Well, did you note, speaking of Graves, he slipped it in and other guys were talking, so you may well have missed it, but he claimed Hornswoggle was 3'9", 420. I think he meant pounds.
He did.
He's large.
He's not quite that big.
He's a thick 3'9".
But I honestly think he would not make the 205 live limit.
Probably not.
There's no way.
He's a big 3'9" guy. So he did some stuff, but then he got eliminated by Nice. Primo Colon was number 13, who immediately fucked up a springboard and nearly eliminated himself. Xavier Woods was number 14, and then it was time for my favorite thing on the entire show. So Woods comes out there.
God.
He runs out there blowing his trombone, and he hands it to a ref and gets in the ring. So very quickly, it somehow ends up that he's on the apron with Kofi on his back, and Kofi's riding his back like a backpack, and Woods is hanging onto the middle rope, trying to keep them both in the match. I think it was Niche like prying the fingers away one by one, trying to get him out. But Woods fights him off, and then Woods climbs to the top rope with Kofi on his back. Kofi does a top rope splash off of Woods onto everyone. Now the whole crew is down. Everyone in the ring's been laid out by the New Day. And so they have their own little dance party. And Tony Nese takes it upon himself to join in. And the New Day just welcome him. They're all just dancing and having a big party. And they're happy with their new friend Tony. And he jumps up into their arms in joy. And they throw him out of the ring. This whole bit was awesome.
You're easily entertained, Vinny. Clearly, you do not watch the other 4.5 hours of this show.
Was there anything better than that?
Well, I mean,
What was better than Tony Nese dancing with the New Day and getting thrown out?
I thought it was weird because he jumped in their arms in a Royal Rumble.
He's a dumbass.
He's
a dumb heel.
He is a dumb ass.
Yes.
That is.
You're supposed to laugh at him.
Yeah.
Were you more entertained by Bo Dallas at number 15?
Nah. Number 15. Jesus.
We got a long way to go.
God, keep going, dude.
Kurt Angle is 16. The Saudis did think he sucked.
You know the thing about Kurt Angle is when you watch Raw and he's in the ring doing an interview or something like that, he can't straighten his legs.
Yeah, he can't stand up straight.
Yeah, his legs are constantly bent and he's leaning forward like this.
Yeah.
And every time I threw my back out, you can't straighten your legs.
Sure.
So his back is completely thrashed.
Absolutely.
Fucking gets in this ring and he's just a wild man. Just beating the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't stand, but you're killing
But
everybody.
you can throw.
Holy shit, suplexing everybody all over the place.
Bo goes out. Primo goes out. Dolph pulls down his invisible straps. And then Kurt throws him out with the belly to belly. So at this point, of the 16 men who have come out, 12 are out. We're down to Kurt, Kofi, Woods, and Daniel Bryan. Scott Dawson is 17. Goldust is 18. And all I could think was, it's a good thing this is not the Goldust of 1999 here in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
That would go differently. Our little buddy Connor is number 19.
Yeah, not a lot happening.
Elias is 20. Crowd loved Elias, gotta be honest. So Elias runs wild and throws out Connor, Kofi, and Woods all at once.
You know what's weird is when we were watching all the Royal Rumbles week by week by week, you see so many major changes that occurred in a full year every week.
Yeah.
So I'm watching these fucking Royal Rumbles and all of a sudden one year, Michael Cole is a heel commentator.
Yes.
And it was so fucking terrible.
The worst.
Here he is. I don't know what he is now, but he loves Elias.
Yeah.
Who is a heel.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't watch anything but the pay-per-views, so I have no idea.
I don't have any idea either, and I watch everything.
Does he do it on Raw as well?
I mean, apparently he's just become a big fan of Elias.
Oh.
And I don't know why.
He's just got to stop. Well, maybe it's because Elias thinks he's great and calls him out by name.
No.
All right, I tried. Luke Gallows is 21. So there's this melee of bodies doing nothing. And then in the middle of this, suddenly we get a dream match between Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And it goes 40 seconds, and Elias throws Angle out of the ring.
Dude. He eliminated Kurt Angle.
Elias.
The guitar player.
The Drifter.
Do you not like this man?
I love his act, but he sucks in the ring.
Huh.
Yeah. I went to a live event with him and Roman Reigns in the main event. Not a good match.
Rhino is 22.
It was a good performance that he put on, though, with his guitar. He buried Everett and everybody cheered. And the more he buried the town, the more they cheered him. It was fucking awesome. Because Everett sucks.
Everett does suck.
Yeah.
Rhino is 22. Graves made fun of him for napping in the locker room earlier.
Why?
Well,
If the announcers would have napped in the goddamn locker room, they wouldn't have made so many fucking mistakes.
Well, they made fun of him and then immediately started saying it was a very long flight and he had all day to kill.
What the hell do you want him to do? Like go over his spots for his 5 seconds in the Royal Rumble?
Drew Gulak is 23 and then Tucker Knight is 24. And I thought for a moment that the greatest Royal Rumble, you know where I'm going, I thought we would get Otis Dozovich and Rhino in the same ring at the same time.
No.
It turns out Otis wasn't even there.
It's going to make you sad, Vinny, but Vince is very high on Tucker Knight.
Well, he's tall.
And he's not as high on short little Otis.
Well, he's short. Otis Dozovich.
Who are these people?
Okay, Tucker Knight was the big fella in yellow in this match.
Yes.
Okay. He has a partner named Otis Dozovich.
Okay.
Who's about a foot shorter and 3 feet wider.
Oh.
Imagine Rhino, but like twice as wide.
Imagine if you filmed Rhino in like 4x3 and then put it in a, was it 16x9?
Yeah, stretched him out.
Stretched him out.
His aspect ratio is all
I like
fucked
how
up.
you use the aspect ratio.
Yeah.
theory
I
with
speak
me.
your
That's-
language.
Yeah, that was good. That
You're
was
a
good.
filmmaker.
Okay, great.
Anyway, Otis wasn't there. We never saw him.
So who did you want to see him fight?
I wanted to see him and Rhino to see who was the widest man in the world.
I see.
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Mark Henry would also be in the competition, although he's actually leaner. He was slimmer on this show.
I love when they announced it. Michael Cole said, I talked to Drew Gulak earlier today. He always does that. And he told me that his first ever career win was in a battle royal. And he says it like, my God, now he may win the world's
Greatest Royal Rumble.
Not mentioning the fact that fucking everybody's first win was in a geek battle royal at some goofy indie show, right? I think yours was.
No, my last one was in a battle royal, actually, for Tim.
Well, see, there we go. God, you could have won the greatest Royal Rumble.
I guess I could have.
You're coming off a Rumble win. Tim let you win a battle royal?
I was just going to say, here's how the thing went down.
I don't believe this.
We're about to go to the battle royal, and this was my last show. I didn't know it at the time, but I'd had enough. I was about ready to quit, and we're about to go out, and Tim hasn't said anything about the show all day, and he says, "I don't care. Do what you want." And we all went in the ring and had a battle royal, and I said, "I'm going to win this fucking thing." And I just stayed in there, and it came down to me and Chef, and I tossed Chef out and won.
That's the best story. I've never told that story before.
I don't know.
You shot in a battle royal.
Basically, yes. I just refused to get eliminated. If anyone threw me out, I would fight back and stay in. And no one else cared. Because no one actually wants to be in a battle royal.
That is true.
So
it's
when
the
you get
worst.
thrown out, you just get thrown out. I stayed in and won.
That literally is the greatest story you've ever told. That actually is better than the Cardjacker
I
story.
forgot about that until right now. Oh, God. And then, like, the next day I quit. Went on top. Bobby Roode was 25. All I can think is, man, we're halfway there.
Ooh, we're halfway through.
Halfway
Oh, my God.
Roode eliminates Goldust and then Dawson. Fandango is 26.
Ooh. That's my man.
Oh, didn't
It
know
is?
that.
I always want him to win something.
Well, he didn't.
I
so
know.
he didn't have the drive that Vinny had.
Apparently not. So Fandango comes out. So at this point now, we are 4+ hours into the show. These announcers had to fly all the way to Saudi Arabia, do a 5-hour show, and just fly straight back. They are exhausted. They are punchy. They are fucking stuff up left and right, burying each other, giggling at everything, which actually made for a better show.
My whole life is better having heard that story. I'm not even kidding. Jesus. The old Vinny would have never even thought of that.
No. So Chad Gable is 27. He managed to get little itty bitty Chad Gable got giant Tucker Knight up on his shoulders for an electric chair drop, which is even more impressive than Hornswoggle doing a Samoan drop to Kofi Kingston. Rey Mysterio is 28, and Cole and Saxton tried to act surprised Ray's there. And Grace is like, have you not seen the advertising for the show? Ray is everywhere on our posters. So Ray throws out Gallows, does a bunch of big spots. Mojo Riley is 29.
Raleigh.
What did I say?
He tosses your boy Fandango.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, oh man.
So Fandango's out. Here comes his partner Tyler Breeze at number 30. They have a chat on the ramp and have a plan.
Oh,
so
man.
Breeze hits the ring. Mojo throws him out. Fandango catches him, much like pancakes, spins around, puts him back on the apron, and then Mojo just knocks him out for real.
This is totally an idea that Buddy and I would have done at like an ICW show at the Temple Theater.
Yes.
It's a funny idea on paper. Nobody in Saudi Arabia laughed.
No.
Deadly silence. They're just looking at him like, you two idiots.
Big E was number 31. He gave pancakes.
Pancakes.
Yeah, he pulled out some pancakes out of his drawers.
Yeah,
Technically he did.
should have littered them all over the ground on his side of the ring.
That's where they ended up. So he offered pancakes to Tucker and then gave him a big ending and threw him out of the ring. Carl Anderson was 32.
This thing's still going on.
Dude, we got 20 guys to go.
Oh,
Carl Anderson is 32. Apollo Crews is 33. He throws out Gable.
Yeah,
Gotta get him out of there.
landed right in his face.
that's funny.
Roderick Strong is 34, and he starts chopping everyone and breaking their backs. Roderick Strong looked awesome.
Yeah, he was the best guy in the entire Royal Rumble.
And it made me happy because I know this is the most eyeballs he's ever had on him, and he looked great.
Yeah.
He was not in there long. He gets into a chop fest with Bryan, which, if you see the pictures of Bryan,
Oof.
Oh my god.
it looks like he's in. Okay, here's the thing: as someone who has had a chest that looked like color-wise looked like Bryan's in this match.
Yeah.
When you don't get chopped often, and then you get chopped a lot, all your blood vessels pop. When you got a good tan, you get chopped all the time, your body gets a little used to it. Unless you're fighting like Ronnie Garvin in a main event or something. So, Bryan's skin is white, and he hasn't been chopped like this in years. So he looks just red and savagely beaten. In like 2 minutes, by the way. Because when I saw the pictures, I also thought, man, Roddy must have been in there chopping it for like 20 minutes. No, they went out for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
and Bryan got all red. Randy Orton's 35.
Fans finally woke up.
Yep.
Hey, a star.
A big star.
Listen, I don't want to bury Apollo Crews. Maybe it wasn't his fault, but Randy Orton never mistimes the RKO, and there was a mistimed RKO here with Apollo Crews, so I can only presume that it's Apollo's fault.
That's fair. That's a fair assumption. So Anderson out, Mojo out, Crews out. Heath Slater is 36. You notice how much Heath Slater looks like Sami Zayn these days?
Kinda, yeah.
Baba Tunde is 37.
Guy has never been on NXT
Yes.
TV a
This
single time.
Big, huge guy comes out, and Cole says, it's Baba Tunde from NXT.
Yeah, he's a
The
giant
fuck
guy.
it is. I watch
Michael-
NXT every week.
Michael Cole didn't know that Rey Mysterio was going to be in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But he knows who Baba Tunde is?
Yes.
Get the hell out of here.
So
He's like 10 feet tall.
they claim he's a 6'10" former football player.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin is 38. He pulls Elias out of the ring, throws him into the steps, and then he hit Rey Mysterio with the greatest deep six of all time. He just threw him high in the air and spun him around and slammed him down. It looked awesome. Throws out Rude, throws out Roddy, which was lame. And then the moment
Ugh.
the show will be remembered for decades.
Yeah, this was funnier than the dance.
Oh, the Tony Nese.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. You are correct. So I'm assuming everyone's seen this by now.
How could you not?
It was funny because I, like everyone else, I saw the GIF about 50 times before I saw this match.
The only thing I saw.
Yeah. Live, the live shot missed it. So you see Titus O'Neil go running down to the ring. They cut to the ring, and suddenly the announcers are howling with laughter.
Yeah.
And you don't know why. And
They literally, like, they had like, it was on the hard cam side, and they're following him down, and then the camera just keeps going, but he's not there. Like, he vanished. And the announcer started howling with laughter.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck happened? And then he jumps in the ring. I was like, what?
What's going on? And they showed the
boy-
replay. God smiled upon Saudi Arabia on this day and said, I will make the world laugh. This could not have gone better if you practice this 1,000 times. So on the last step, like from where the steel meets the rubber, I think, Titus stumbles, goes flying horizontally through the air. If he had stumbled less, it would have been worse because he'd have hit the apron and broken his neck. But he stumbled.
Vinny howls. It had died. Hey,
Times.
forget that, Vinny. Forget that. They have that LED board on a
that's
lot of
right.
the pay-per-views. If they would have had that LED board, that'd have been it.
I think he's big enough he would have just gone through that.
It's possible, but
He would have gone through it and left it like a Looney Tunes cartoon of a Titus O'Neil shaped hole.
might not have ended well, though.
So as it was just a curtain. He went under it and vanished from the face of the earth. He disappeared.
You know what the benefit is for Titus O'Neil being old? I think he's like 42.
He's 40-something.
He's like 42 or 43. Let's find out how old this guy is.
He played college football against Peyton Manning.
He is 41.
Mid-90s, yeah.
41. Oh, wow. His birthday's today.
Oh, happy
Look at
birthday.
that.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday, Titus.
O'Neil.
Glad you're alive.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Titus
birthday.
O'Neil. Anyway,
Titus.
he's lucky he's 41, and he's lucky that he barely wrestles. Because if he were a regular wrestler and this happened to him, he's done.
He's Shockmaster.
Like that day that R-Truth came out, and one day he had the wrong name of a town, and since that time he's been a fucking idiot in storyline. Like, that's his gimmick. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
This guy, like, he's done. But luckily, like, this will actually extend his career.
He has owned this.
Yes.
He's posed near the apron, the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be slide t-shirts.
He will make a lot of money off of this.
Yes, this is gonna work
It's
out
a good
well.
thing that he's old and largely half retired.
and has a good sense of humor. So
Don't you remember when he was in NXT and he was running with the barrel and he tripped and fell down with the barrel? Remember that?
No, but Cole was talking about it.
Yeah, they were running around. They were doing some obstacle course, and he had some barrel, and he tripped and fell, and the barrel goes flying, and he just looked like a numbskull, and everybody laughed at him. Yeah, it's not the first time.
So Dan Matha was number 40.
Dan Matha.
Now, Mark, I don't think you watch NXT. Let me tell you who Dan Matha is.
Okay, because
For-
I was wondering.
For like 2 years ago, for weeks and weeks, we got Dan Matha promos, and he was a great big guy, big thick guy with great big muscles and great big zits all over his body. And the camera would pan up and spin around him, and there was scary music playing. I just looked at his zits and sneer.
back.
And they were teasing this in HD close-ups. And I was on this show saying, somebody please give me NXT's address. I will personally send this man a loofah to take care of some of this. So for weeks, they built up to his debut. It finally happens. He comes out on stage. Samoa Joe runs up and chokes him out. He has not been seen since.
Well, I mean, his name's Dan Matha.
2 years go by. Dan Mathis in the greatest Royal Rumble, and Cole's talking about him like a big NXT star. Corey Graves is still laughing harder and harder about Titus O'Neil. They keep showing replays.
Everybody was laughing. Like, they saw that thing in the back, and it was like, get every replay we've got. Show
more,
it 30 times.
Guys are laughing harder and harder. Braun Strowman is 41. There were 9 victims in the ring waiting for him, including just some big hosses for him to throw him out.
I should add, by the way, I was watching this live, and like, you see the camera and you see him vanish, and then they cut and he's crawling back out
From under the ring.
So my first thought was
He went under there.
he was
gradually.
trying to hide.
Aha.
Oh.
Or maybe he was going after, like, somebody had just been thrown outside. I think it was a drifter got thrown out, but he wasn't eliminated. I thought he was going underneath the ring to get the drift. I was so confused. Nope.
I thought he was going under there to get a weapon of some sort.
Could have been, yeah.
So he throws out Babatunde, he throws out Matha, he throws out E. He presses Heath out on all 4 of them, and the survivors swarm him and overwhelm him. Ty Dillinger's number 42. He joins in the swarming, and then they do one of my favorite things in wrestling, the roar spot.
Yes.
When everyone swarms over the Giant, like Giant just clubbers him, and then Giant goes, "Brah!" And everyone, all the bodies go flying. Okay, this seems like simple and cartoony, right? They had this might, and as they are all huddled over him, somebody, you can hear go, 1, 2, 3. Is this necessary?
It's not necessary.
You can't have the Giant go, "Brah!" and everyone fly backwards. They
Dude, I've seen people count before, like, suplexes.
okay.
Why the hell do you need to count to 3 before you do a suplex? Like, one guy goes down, get ready to go.
I guess. So he throws out Titus, he throws out Ty Dillinger, and eventually everyone, Ray 619's Braun, Orton hits an RKO. When Orton RKO'd Braun, people were jumping up and down.
Yeah, he's over.
Randy needs to move to Saudi Arabia. Maybe not. Corbin eliminates Ray. Orton eliminates Corbin. Elias eliminates Orton. This all takes like 5 seconds.
God, this Elias, holy smokes.
So at this point, we are
Tossing
down.
out everybody. Can you imagine?
We are down to Elias, Braun, and Bryan, but only Braun is in the ring.
Yeah.
So Kurt Hawkins is number 43. He comes out, and Braun Strowman's alone in the ring. And Hawkins goes all the way down to the ring, looks at Braun, and changes his mind and tries to flee. And Braun runs him down because he's a fast giant. And
He is very fast.
and he throws him back in the ring and then throws him right back out. Why has no one thought of this before? They've been doing Royal Rumbles for 30 plus years now. This is a great comedy spot. Bobby Lashley is 44. He threw out Elias.
Man, this was Vince McMahon. Classic Vince. That's the big spot. Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman squaring off.
Yep.
Dead silence.
Yep.
Does anybody give a shit about Bobby Lashley?
They've done a bad job since he came back.
You know, like...
Actually, you didn't watch Raw. They had Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman as a tag team on Raw. It was awesome.
Did he
That's the only time, though.
I think I was at the TNA event where Bobby Lashley premiered for them.
Really?
Like, I
Why?
think that because it was like lockdown or something, and it was it was at Temple University.
Oh, you were there,
Philly.
okay.
And I was there, and like he came out, and everybody was like, yeah, like the boy, you know, fucking Tron says Bobby Lashley, and everybody was like, oh.
He didn't get the rub from Trump, apparently.
And then, you know, here we are 10 years fucking later, and this guy, like, he's just a big dude, and who cares?
He's a big dude making his money.
Yeah.
At 41.
41.
Is he really?
Actually, maybe older.
He looks pretty
That's
old.
a freak. Okay. He does?
In his face. Look at his face.
I'm
Well,
42.
his face does, but
Look at
his
his
body.
face.
He looks much younger than me.
Well, then,
He'll be 42 in July.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is very, very quick still, though.
Yes. He's much quicker than me, too.
Yes, he is.
Well, he's supposed to be.
He sure
Because
is.
he's an athlete.
He definitely is.
What are you?
Not an athlete.
Okay.
Okay. So, the two giants somehow end up in opposite corners, and Bryan does the corner-to-corner drop kick spot, and the camera cuts here were unbearable. Speaking of unbearable, out comes the Great Khali.
Oh, come on. He's chopping everybody.
Dude, they could not have given this guy Kane to get down to the ring.
No.
I was cringing watching every step he took.
Yeah.
Even Michael Cole was like, here's the Great Khali lumbering down to the ring.
Yeah.
I loved when he immediately gets eliminated and Cole says, glad he made that trip from India. Like it's so fucking far away compared to
Kurt
everybody
Hawkins.
coming from America getting thrown out of this thing.
So he chops everyone, they all fall down, and then Strowman and Lashley throw him out, and even that looked like he died. Kevin Owens is 46. Cannonballs everyone. Somehow or somewhere in here, Bryan sets the record for most time in a Royal Rumble, which seems like cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, he did.
I'm not going to honor that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be in the facts next year, though.
Oh, you know
know.
what? Now that you mention it, no facts on this one.
There were no
That was
facts.
nice.
It was weird.
Nice to not have the facts. They
Why
did
weren't
have,
there? They had 5 hours.
They had the rules at the beginning.
They had the rules.
Which
Like-
they immediately ignored.
You know,
The facts video has women, though.
Oh, that's right.
does it?
Yeah, Beth
someone-
Phoenix and China.
Ah, but
and-
they could just cut that shit out. That's
They could,
that's
yeah.
super fucking easy.
But they're
Just
lazy.
Bing, bing.
Yeah, they are lazy.
Shane McMahon's 47.
Oh, God.
He may actually be. Is he 47? He may be 47.
I think he is 47.
He does some stuff with Owens because we haven't seen Owens and Shane before. And Bryan and Shane double team Owens. Shelton Benjamin is 48. And then Owens takes charge and says, we all need to work against Braun. So they do. So they're all beating up Braun in the corner.
Oh, God.
Big Cass is 49.
Dude.
And apparently they're doing a Big Cass Daniel Bryan feud.
Yeah.
Because this is what we've been waiting for 3 years.
Yeah.
So Bryan's in the middle of the ring, eyeballing Cass, and Cass is striding down to the ramp, eyeballing Bryan, and they're gonna have a fight. And Cass gets in the ring to kill this little fucker, and suddenly Braun sends bodies flying, and bodies fall into Cass, and he falls down, and he looked like the biggest goof in the world, and it was
Fucking
0% his fault.
clipped his knee that he just came off surgery for. I thought, oh, my God, if he gets hurt again.
Yeah,
Well,
I was like, they just
hold
tore
that
his fucking
thought.
ACL again.
I know.
All the thought about Big Cass getting hurt. So, let's see. Shane does the coast-to-coast dropkick on Strowman. And
Almost kills himself.
Yeah. Chris Jericho's number 50, the last guy in. We made it, guys. We're on the home
I'm
stretch.
exhausted.
So he's coming out doing his whole entrance, and Owens does a slow burn to watch him in his blinking scarf walk down to the ramp. Did any of you catch what Owens is screaming? Go back to Japan, he's
Yeah,
screaming.
yeah.
Leave us alone. So Jericho gets in the ring in not tip shape. He eliminates Shelton. He puts Owens in the Boston Crab, and then he's Chris Jericho. He must say, ask him
Yeah.
in a Royal Rumble.
You know, there was a spot actually in the Royal Rumble. I don't know if you saw it, but Daniel Bryan was like Ric Flair in 1992, that Royal Rumble, where he's in there forever. And like every time someone new comes in the ring, he goes to work with him. That's what Daniel Bryan's doing. So Drew Gulak gets in the ring. Bryan goes right for Drew Gulak. They start doing some jujitsu. And Daniel Bryan puts him in an omoplata. And Drew Gulak gets the ropes in a Royal Rumble.
Sure.
And Daniel Bryan lets him go. It's like, what a baby face. That was awfully nice of him. Just let him go.
So at this point, Bobby Lashley, who's a big, strong man, decides, I am going to do a delayed vertical suplex on Big Cass.
Man, he's hit this on everybody since he came back.
Well, I've seen this. I've seen him hit this on 100 guys, often with one arm.
Yeah,
So
that's what he does.
So he tries it once, and their timing's a little off, and he drops him back down on his feet. And for a second, I couldn't tell if they were going to try it again and give up, but he tried it again, and he briefly gets Big Cass up, and they're up there, and then there's a gravity storm, and he drops him on his head.
Yeah.
And Graves just says, oh, he turned it into a brain buster.
Yeah.
He sure did. If I thought Roman Reigns was dead earlier, I thought Cass was dead and his head might fall off in this one.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
not
This
good.
No.
and he lays there unmoving on the side of the apron for a long time. I thought he was very badly hurt.
Yeah.
Apparently not, because he eventually got back to his feet. I hope he's okay. That was terrifying. So Shane goes up top for another coast-to-coast drop kick, but Braun gets on the apron, grabs him with one arm, yanks him off, and Shane goes flying through the sky and goes through the announce desk for, let's be honest, the best Royal Rumble elimination ever. There was no question. That guy's out.
Yeah.
Oh, Lashley runs at Braun. Braun catches and throws him out. We had some Strowman elimination teases, but he doesn't go out.
I like how you're completely unconcerned about Shane McMahon, by the way. You also have accepted that his demise is probably imminent.
He didn't fall on his head.
He didn't fall on his head, but
Cass is-
God, this guy's 47
Yeah.
years old. He gets fucked up every time he does something like this.
Yep.
What is he doing?
I had just
He's
seen-
got kids.
I was far more concerned with Cass than I was about Shane at this point. So, okay. Braun throws out Lashley, Braun throws out Jericho, Braun throws out Owens, and then Cass kicks Bryan out of in the side of the head, eliminates him, and very quickly we're down to two. And it is the two tallest guys in the match. It's Big Cass and Braun Strowman. And they did some stuff.
What a shocker.
Yeah. They did some stuff, and Braun crushed him on the top rope, hit a running tackle to knock him to the floor, and win. 90 minutes is too long for a wrestling match.
It was way, way too long. As Mark noted, not the greatest Royal Rumble.
No. Now, you know what they did right?
They have a
Usually-
trophy and a belt.
The guy wins the Rumble, his music plays, they might have confetti,
You got to point at a sign.
you got to point at a sign, and that's it, that's all that happens. They give us like 10 minutes, Braun's music plays, and he celebrates, and then they show replays, a bunch of replays, and the replays are done, Braun's in the ring, Vince McMahon's in the ring, an unidentified Saudi Arabian dignitary is in the ring. They have a championship belt for this match alone.
Yeah.
They have a trophy bigger than Braun for this match alone.
It's a big trophy.
This was a bigger win by the end of this than Shinsuke Nakamura's win in the real Royal Rumble.
You're right. So let's have Braun Strowman win that title from Brock Lesnar.
Maybe he will.
That's my vote.
When I was driving over here, because this was a pointless show. It wasn't a terrible show, but it was pointless. I was trying to figure out what's going to happen next, and the only thing at any level that was set up here was, I guess, Bryan and Cass, and Lesnar and Strowman.
I hope so.
Nothing else leads to anything.
Is there going to be another Greatest Royal Rumble where he puts that belt on the line?
I don't know. Maybe
What
he'll
is-
have to defend it next year in the Royal Rumble.
What is that belt for?
I think the belt is just another trophy.
And like, what an awful thing to give that man, that giant ass trophy. You can't fit that in your overhead
That will be a-
compartment.
It will
be a
have to
bear.
be shipped back.
That is a fucking pain in the ass for Braun Strowman. Like, this is just like, here, fucking.
No,
have
actually-
fun shipping this fucking thing.
You can ship the trophy back, but he's got to carry the belt in his carry-on. That thing's heavy.
When Big Show was the giant, he was a
Yes.
world champion in World Championship Wrestling. He was on some talk show that I don't remember. It was a daytime afternoon talk show that I think has since been canceled. But he talked about, yes, he's in character. I've worked all my life to be champion. It's the greatest honor in the world. But flying around with that big ass belt in your luggage is the biggest pain in the ass. You get stopped in security every time.
It's a heavy damn
It
belt.
shows it on X-ray. It just blocks out everything.
Everybody has to take their fucking picture with you, slowing you down.
Couldn't he just throw the belt in the box with the trophy that he's shipping?
He
everything
could,
back
actually,
in?
if he were smart.
And be like, fuck this.
Because he's not defending it in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
Doesn't have
I
to
mean-
carry it with him.
Or you could just leave it there.
So there you
gonna
go.
know? Fuck it.
The greatest Royal Rumble.
Nope.
No.
Not.
I'm tired.
Man. You liked this year's Rumble, if I recall correctly.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
I did too.
Oh.
This one was just kind of boring.
Well,
It wasn't the worst Royal Rumble.
No, I mean, it was just, 50 guys.
Yeah,
Come
too
on,
many
man.
guys.
Give me a fucking break.
You know what I remember when they had the 40-man Rumble with Alberto? That was too many guys.
See, I wasn't watching wrestling then.
You haven't gone back? I thought you went back and watched all of them.
I did go back and watch it, but fuck, dude.
Yeah.
That was like 3 years ago. I don't
Yeah,
remember
40 dudes, too many dudes in a Royal Rumble. 50, way too many dudes.
Yeah, I was like, this is going to be awesome. And then, 13 guys in. I
You had
was like,
Baba Tunde
this
and
this is bad.
guys you never heard of. Didn't even bring back the Honky Tonk Man. Mark, plug your podcast.
Oh, okay.
You got a lot of listeners last time. They really like it, it seems.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's called I Saw That Movie. You can listen to it on iTunes or SoundCloud. I don't know. We got a Facebook page.
You're doing a hell of a job selling this like you did last time.
I don't know. What do you want me to say?
So what do you do on this?
Well, myself and CB, the guy that I've made all my movies with.
Yep.
He used to work in a video store. I have a huge movie collection. We get together once a week, and I force him to talk about some movie. I don't tell him what we're gonna talk about. He just shows up.
Really?
I
So don't even watch it
something.
in advance?
I watch it.
Oh, you do?
I watch it. He shows up. And
I see.
Then I say, "This is the movie," and I always try to pick something that I know he's gonna hate.
Have you reviewed as your shirt bears basket case?
I have not done Basket
That needs to be
Case,
your next one then.
but what a great movie that is.
I'm sure it is.
Sounds like
Yeah, and then you can always follow me on Instagram, BuzzHBuzz.
it. Buzz H Buzz. Are you on Twitter?
No,
Oh, come on.
I'm on Instagram.
No,
That's
it's-
enough.
Oh, there is a Buzz H Buzz on Twitter. Is that you? You just don't tweet?
Huh? What?
There's
No.
a Buzz H Buzz on Twitter.
There is?
29
Oh,
followers.
fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's been there
Get
since
off Twitter, you fuck.
joined June
That's my name,
2016.
you dirty dog. Maybe it is me. I don't know. Fuck it.
You want me to read some of his tweets?
I have never twitted anything.
I'll read it. Okay, he's got a tweet here on October 17th, which says, "Hey." He's got
it
one
is-
here on October 18th that
That's me.
says, "Hi."
Oh, fuck you, Buzz H. Buzz.
He's
Get
got one
off.
here on the 30th of October that says, "Night."
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm making this up.
This guy's gonna get so many followers because of you.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Delete this, Tony.
Don't follow that Buzz H. Buzz.
Yeah, the one on
Buzz
Instagram
H.
is the
Buzz.
real Buzz H
Yeah,
Buzz.
that's the one.
All right, everybody, we're out of here. Don't forget, Vinny and I and Craig will be back on Tuesday. Retro Rod Nitro 19 years ago this week. I'll be back later on tonight with Dave. Video.f4wonline.com if you want to watch this show. And f4wonline.com/shirts if you want awesome merch. Although I don't know if the hat is on the... Hold on. Tony, where do we get these hats at? Do you even know?
You'll have to tweet it out.
Okay.
That's that link.
All right, we got a special link for hats. If you want a hat, we can get it out for you. So, all right, everybody, that's it. We'll talk to you again after a while.
Bye.
Bye.